So today I'm going to talk about Bermodsey Tonic Water, BTW, and how they're going to internationalise into an international market. So BTW originated out of a London gin bar, 214 Bermodsey. The founder noticed that during the gin revolution he was having huge sales and had a wide variety of gins available, but didn't have the quality tonic water to support this. So started making their own tonic water that they supplied to local businesses before creating a website and supplying nationally, as well as getting wholesale sales through a website. They currently don't sell anywhere else in the world except the UK, but do have an international presence as they do import all their raw ingredients from Brazil, so have had some international business experience. So the country I selected was the US. Considering they have very limited experience in the field, I thought that'd be the best to go for a market that was similar culturally to them. They have similar cultural icons, trends, as well as a similar language. This means there's little adjustment needed to the product or the website when selling. They've got a developed market, and a scan that we ran, they had the highest carbonated soft drinks consumption and one of the highest spirit consumptions, which is a good relationship to have for our product, because if it's a high carbonated soft drinks and a low alcohol, it means they're using it as a substitute rather than a complementary good, and tonic water is a complementary good to the spirit market. We also saw they had a high disposable income and a high indulgence rating, which is good for our premium product in the marketplace. It's also very developed, so there is already niches in the marketplace, which is easy for our company to go after rather than try and carve out their own niches. Currently is the best time to sell to the US if you're a UK business, because they are very weak pound at the moment due to the uncertainty with Brexit. This means that although they'll have high transport costs, being a fragile and heavy good, they can incorporate this into their selling price, and consumers will still buy it as it'll still be competitive, as they're getting so many pounds for the US dollar at the moment. So, since they are inexperienced in selling to the international market, as well as in the market they exist anyway, because their background is in hospitality, not in distribution of products, I thought they should team up with a gin company, one that already exists in the US market, a US company, because they'll have the expertise and the knowledge of the market, as well as already have a presence there. The good thing about combining with a gin company is, unlike other companies such as soft drinks, they may combine if they're not competing, in fact they're complementing, which will give them greater customer exposure, as not only will they have their own customers to share with the company, but they'll be co-creating value and co-creating a presence of their own as an entity with the association value that they'll create. They'll be a larger company with the combination in this joint venture, so they'll benefit from economies of scale. They'll share things such as transport costs, as well as advertising costs when going into the market. Having the Great British brand is very valuable to US companies, especially in the gin market, as London holds prestige in that market. So associating themselves with that will make that brand more valuable as well. However, there are risks of being manipulated, because the American gin brand will have the most power in the relationship and will be much larger. To combat this, they try to negotiate at the beginning what they both want out of the relationship to make sure they don't get swayed in a different direction. Further recommendations is they should go to Brazil once they establish the US market. They already have an understanding of the culture, which puts them in advantage over going to, let's say, Africa or China, other developing markets. It's also vastly growing. They have a huge increase in disposable income, employment figures, and minimum wage, which will make the product valuable in the marketplace. They also have a huge consumption of soft drinks. They should continue their joint venture and co-create value into the future. Having that association will make the risks lower, as they can continue to develop customers together, as well as on their own. Similar to Jägermeister and Red Bull, they have a strong business relationship, but also have their own entities in the international market. They need to expand their product line. Many governments have huge taxes on sugary drinks at the moment, and to reduce this, they should offer a low-calorie, low-sugar alternative to the product they currently sell, as this will bypass these taxations and will help them remain competitive in the market, as well as expose them to new customer bases within the markets they already operate in. So what did we learn from going through this report? It's different for an entrepreneur to internationalise than a multinational. They have to be more vigilant in their choices and approaches to internationalisation. Multinationals have huge financial resources, so if it goes wrong, they can go straight back out and attack a new market, whereas entrepreneurs need to find the market and make it work. If it fails, it could be years before they can try and internationalise again, or if they ever manage to break out of their domestic market. Exporting isn't always the most effective way for internationalisation. It's the easiest way to get an international sale, however it's not the best way to become an established player on the international market. You should in fact try joint ventures or build up relationships with other companies rather than go out on your own making small sales international. Actually establish yourself as part of the market. Globalisation theory on flatliners is not always relevant, especially now. In the past 5 years there's been huge changes to globalisation. It's actually in regression. Trade barriers, in theory, are coming down across the world, making it easier for international trade. However, they're going back up just as fast. Brexit has shown this, as well as American politics has shown it's becoming harder to trade overseas as people are protecting their homegrown industries. Another theory that's common is that cultures are becoming more homogenous. This is also untrue, with research found even cultures that seem similar, like America and the UK, that show similar trends, there's huge differences in the way in their beliefs and the way they act within a marketplace. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that presentation.